Out of Lyons Falls, a sustainable way to farm. Driving through northern New York, you are bound to see acres of farmland growing produce, but issues like climate change, soil depletion, and supply chain issues create challenges for farmers in this region. With hydroponic farmers like Humblebee Farms, well, they can grow fresh, high-quality produce all year round, no matter the weather.
Come on inside, this is where the magic happens.
Stepping into this cargo container, you won't find surplus items, rather countless varieties of lettuce, herbs, and edible flowers.
We grow lots of lettuce. That's the primary crop that we grow, about 10 different varieties of lettuce. Everything from a soft, buttery lettuce to hard, crisp romaines. We also grow amazing beet greens, Swiss chard.
We saw that there was a deficit in fresh vegetables in the stores. We believe that food is medicine. We also believe that eating healthy is the best thing for us. So we decided we deserve healthy vegetables, and so does our community.
We literally harvest our lettuce every morning, and it goes into our store, and people know how popular our lettuce is, and so they will be at our store waiting for us to open so they can make sure they get some. They'll have it for lunch a couple hours later, but they may leave it in their fridge for 2 or 3 weeks and find that it's still good because of the fact that it didn't have this long lead time from when it was harvested to when they got it on their table.
That's because of the way it's grown. At Humblebee Farms, they specialize in hydroponics, a farming process using only water and essential nutrients to grow crops. And in a controlled environment like this one, it means the produce grows faster and tastes better.
That's fresh. Wow. Oh my God.
We're ranging between 98 to 99% germination, which will leave just a few of these open. We'll put these here in the nursery. They'll be watered and lit 24/7. Once they start to grow and are ready for transplant, they will actually be transplanted into our vertical panels. We transplant between 40 to 100 plants per panel, depending on the crop.
In the middle of the foam strip is a wicking strip. It's a little piece of felt right there. And we have water that drips from the top, and that wicking strip carries that water down to the base of the plant's roots. And then once the water gets to the bottom, it gets in a gutter, and then gravity will drain it back to our cultivation tank.
One of the great things about this container is it uses 95% less water than if we were trying to grow produce in the soil. So in doing that, we can be way more efficient. So we're producing about 445 heads of lettuce per week. We can grow up to 990 heads of lettuce per week. So if you do the math, that's roughly 1,000 heads of lettuce, 52 weeks, could be doing 52,000 heads of lettuce.
And that's at just half capacity. But for the Cunninghams, it's quality over quantity, focusing on growing healthy produce in a sustainable way.
Most of our land is depleted of all of its nutrients for overuse. And with water runoff and wind and dirt and exchange of other dirts or reloading with dirts from different properties, you're contaminating your property. So one of the great things about hydroponic farming in these types of containers is that the majority of the crops are being saved from any type of climate catastrophe.
We can control all the variables. So we know that the water that we use is pure water, no harmful chemicals, no pesticides, herbicides, anything like that. It's just 100% H2O with some added nutrients like you would find in good soil. A little potassium, a little nitrogen, a little calcium, a little magnesium, and just a trace amount of amino acids. Make it really nice and robust and healthy.
Since settling in Lyons Falls, Humblebee Farms has provided healthy greens for a community that has welcomed them with open arms, which inspired Kristen and Brandon to give back in another way, establishing this historic train depot as a local market.
I thought, what better yet than to be able to find a space, a historical building in Lyons Falls that had been sitting vacant for years. Let's revitalize it. Let's revitalize the town, and let's create a space for all of our local artisans to bring in their baked goods, their natural products, their quilts, their aprons, where they can bring all of their stuff and we would sell it for them.
We now have 140 plus different families, small mom and pop home producers making all these fantastic products. And so for me, it's wonderful. The overwhelming feedback we get from every customer who comes back in the store is how much they love the market, how much diversity is there, how many great products are there.
Whether it's cultivating healthy hydroponic produce or giving back to the community, Humblebee Farms and the Depot Market are here to stay. And as issues like climate change arise, innovative farming techniques like this are important for the future of agriculture.
I want people to go away realizing that everybody's going to have to be involved if we want to really improve things in our country. And when it comes to nutrition and feeding ourselves and our health, they are tied together. That our gut health is the starting point for our overall health. So I want people to take away that we're going to have to do more farming like this rather than gigantic farms that use lots of pesticides and harsh chemicals and harvest produce before it's prime, in order for us to start healing from right here.
I really think this is the farming of the future. God bless our farmers. I mean, without them, we would have nothing. Unfortunately, agriculture is facing so many catastrophes between the weather and climate change and flooding and all of the things that we're experiencing. Crops are being diminished just by natural disasters. If we had 2 acres of land in a 40-foot container and we filled that 2 acres worth of land with however many freight farm containers, just think of how much we could grow.
We feed all of Lewis and Jefferson County if that were the case. And hopefully someday we will. It's a process. We're growing.
In Lyons Falls for WPBS Weekly, I'm Luke Smith.
All throughout Earth Month, PBS is dropping new episodes celebrating our amazing planet, including a new episode of Weathered on PBS Terra, which looks at tree planting campaigns and asks whether we should be prioritizing new trees or protecting mature forests. Links to the episode and the full Earth Month playlist are in the description.